I wanna smash your subscribe button, you heard?
I can't stand the rain forever. Girls like us, it's hard to measure. Keep it coming, heavy pressure. Please don't break my heart. I can't stand the rain forever. Girls like us, it's hard to measure. Keep it coming, heavy pressure. Please don't break my heart. Never on the first time. You can never ever seem to get it right. Say that you love me, but can do me right. Should've never took you back and left your ass alone. Deleted all your pictures, all the memories are gone. And all the shit you put me through and never coming home. Wasted all my time with you, I thought you was the one. I can't please your heart. You deserve your say. Say you want me to stay. It could be all so simple, babe. I'd be on my way. Just one call away. Just one call away. I can't stand the rain forever. Girls like us, it's hard to measure. Keep it coming, heavy pressure. Please don't break my heart. I can't stand the rain forever. Girls like us, it's hard to measure. Keep it coming, heavy pressure. Please don't break my heart.
I love the way you lie. When we make up, I love the way you cry. We smashing on the wake up. Nobody gonna love the way that when we break up, it's so hard to say goodbye. I told you we abide, but it's all about discretion, be advised. Count your blessings, we just blessed to be alive. And just to be your guy, I promise you the world within your size. You my world and I'ma own it cause you mine. She got me every time, but stop me if you spot me out of line. No, I get it, out of sight and out of mind. I'm humble so I slide to a spot where only I can fit inside, where the punishment don't ever fit the crime. Go ahead and check the rhyme, find a check that I ain't even fitting the sign. Then some sour grapes and I ain't fitting the wine. Was pimping in my prime, but for you I left the pimpery behind. And if this was meant to be, it's by design.
I can't stand the rain forever. Girls like us, it's hard to measure. Keep it coming, heavy pressure. Please don't break my heart. I can't stand the rain forever. Girls like us, it's hard to measure. Keep it coming, heavy pressure. Please don't break my heart.
What's going on?
What's happening, Marty? How are you?
Right now, I'm with the R&B superstar, Mr. Miguel. Marsha Ambrosius, I hope I got your last name right.
You did, and it was wonderful, thank you.
He's finally here. I'm chilling with Lloyd. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
It's the OG of the group, T-Lo. What's good? This your man, Sweet. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Around. And we're next.
We got one of the biggest producers in the world. You guys don't know. What's up, Sean Garrett?
What up? What's up?
What's up, y'all? This is Case. This is my man Marty. This is Raleigh Boy. And we chilling right here on the Marty A. Johnson Show. Marty A. Johnson.
What's up? I'm on time and everything. Marty A. Johnson Show. Today is Tuesday. I made sure my guests are going to be here because I knew Mike's all about being on time. I said, let me make sure I'm together. So Mike is here. He's ready and everything. So Mike, are you good in the background? If you can see and hear me, throw up the peace sign. Perfect. So look, we're going to have a good time and everything. People don't realize a lot of things because I see Mike and Slim off camera a lot. I pop up at a lot of events. They're like, what the hell Marty doing here? But that's a whole nother show. So Mike has a new single out. He collaborated and everything. So we're going to have a good time with him. So Mike, I'm going to bring you in 3 minutes. I'm actually going to play a record from 112. Then I'm going to bring Mike in. Look, I ain't wasting no time today. Perfect. So Mike, I want to bring you in because you have not been here. Even though I saw you, you have not been here on the show. I want to make sure you can see and hear me. Make sure you can hear the music. Hold on. Because we got to bring you in, the right way. So hold on. You hear the music? Hold on. You hear that? You hear it? Good? Nope. Oh, he said no. So look, are you on Android or iPhone? You're on iPhone, huh? You on Android? You should be good then. Hold on. Let me play a little bit of. You should be good then. Hold on. Because I got the records.
I know way too many people here right now that I didn't.
But you can hear the video though, huh? Okay, perfect. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play 112's video. Mike is next. So look, that's nice here. Look, Mike got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Just came off a world tour and everything sold out everywhere. Open up a brand new lounge. I need to go there and patronize and give me a plate or something. Even though I went to a pop-up shop, I spent the bag too. But that's a whole other show. Let me get to that in a minute. Mike is next. Share this video for me one time.
Wait a minute. We ain't going back and forth. This ain't no tennis. What you need to know? Trust me, what a guy you never seen before. I'm gonna hit your spot and how you feeling for it. I know how to do it, I'm an animal. Because going down on you tonight. I'm the truth and you see proof tonight. I want me on top of you tonight. I'm a freak and beat it loose tonight. I'm hard again, I'm ready. Girl, I'm on it, I'm ready. I'm holding it, come get me, come get me. Will you be alright? You be starring in the movie tonight. And you look so fly. I'll be damned if I leave you tonight. I know you need me, don't you tease me tonight. Oh, I'ma beat it, I'ma eat it tonight. Will you be alright? You be starring in the movie tonight. You don't even know. You might fuck around and win and aim it out. You say you get down on the camera though. I know what you're doing, I got stamina. Because I'm going rounds with you tonight. Ain't no rules, I beat it loose tonight. Hey, girl, I want me on top of you tonight. All that shit that we gon' do tonight. Yeah. I'm hard again, I'm ready. Girl, I'm all in, I'm ready. I'm holding it, come get me, come get me, come. Will you be alright? You be starring in the movie tonight. And you look so fly. I'll be damned if I leave you tonight. I know you need me, don't you tease me tonight. Oh, I'ma beat it, I'ma eat it tonight. Will you be alright? You be starring in the movie tonight. I know you the one, ain't no need to front. I might do this shit for fun, but I need that one, yeah. Girl, I know you the one, ain't no need to front. I might do this shit for fun, but I need that one, yeah. Ooh, I need you tonight, girl, I'm ready. I need you tonight, girl, get ready. When I'm holding you, don't let me go. Will you be alright? You be starring in the movie tonight. And you look so fly. I'll be damned if I leave you tonight. I know you need me, don't you tease me tonight. I'ma beat it, I'ma eat it tonight. Will you be alright? You be starring in the movie tonight. Will you be alright? You be starring in the movie tonight. And you look so fly. I'll be damned if I leave you tonight. I know you need me, don't you tease me tonight. I'ma beat it, I'ma eat it tonight. Will you be alright? You be starring in the movie tonight.
That was nice.
What is this? Numbers in your pocket.
I may not hear the music, I'm trying to bring him in. So look, y'all, it's Marty A. Johnson Show. I'm Marty. This my boy. I'm holding him down. So look, you have been on this show. This album has some of the biggest stars and legends all over the world. It only happens here on Tuesday night. Some artists have him with me on Tuesday. Right now, I'm playing my favorite group by 112. I'm doing single. I'm in the talk all over the world. And importantly, I got the founding member of the group from 112. Grammy Award winner. Yeah, Michael Keith. Yo, what's up?
What's happening? Hey, I am here at room 112, aka my boom boom room, and I'm excited to be here, bro. What real quick? I heard the song. I heard the song.
You heard tonight, or you heard it's over now?
I heard tonight.
Perfect. So look, let me get my introduction.
Yeah. Let's do it. So
good. Look, ladies and gentlemen, this guy right here been rocking with the Marty A. Johnson Show for over 6 years. I had to do my homework. Very consistent with the platform, even off the scenes. They're very supportive to the movement and the brand. Most importantly, for 30 years, this gentleman here, he is the creator and facilitator of one of the most influential groups of all time from my era in the 90s. Brought us classic hits, Peaches and Cream, It's Over Now. My personal favorite, Sky's the Limit from the late Biggie, and worked with some of the who's in the business. And he just came up for tour, Grammy Award winner, multi-platinum, and everything. Most importantly, he's here with me on the Marty A. Johnson Show. We got Michael Keith. Bro, what's up?
What's happening? So glad to be here, bro. Thanks for having me. I didn't know that you had a record, that you played the record with Johnny Blaze. You know, I got a song with her too. We can get into that, but I got a record with her as well. So big shout out to Johnny Blaze. That record that she had with Method Man is crazy. The album crazy. Yeah, the whole album was crazy. So I just wanted to shout her out real quick. But I do got a record with her, and we're gonna shoot the video for that in June. So I'm excited about that as well. But I'm glad to be here, man. I'm here in room 112.
Oh, nice. Let me see. Where's all the multi-platinum plaques and everything? I know you got some laying around.
You know, my grandmama got all of that stuff, man. So, you know, she keeps all of that stuff, man. So the Grammy's downstairs, is downstairs on the fireplace, but everything else my grandmama has.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Hey, grandma.
Yeah. Big shout out to Granny.
So look, first off, let me shout out G. Thank you, G. Even though he made this possible for me. Even though Mike DM'd me about a month and a half ago, talking about I'm ready to come on. I'm like, bro, what's going on? Hurry up. You thought I forgot.
Yeah, man, because you know, you have Slim on here all the time, man, and it's like, bro, I have so much stuff I want to say. You know, that it's crazy. But no, I'm glad to be here, man. Big shout out to G for making it happen, because he hit me like it was already a go, right? And so he was like, yeah, man, so I got you slated for 7:30 and Tuesday. You I said, bro, what I'm doing? Like, what are you talking about? So once I spoke to him, you know, oh man, I forgot, man. Like, I got you slated for, you know, Marty. I said, okay, bro. So say that. Start with that. Don't just hit me with, yeah, bro. We ready to rock and roll at 7:30 on Tuesday, bro. I had no idea until, you know, but it was all good either way it go. When he said Marty, I was like, hey, bro, you should have started with that. You know what I mean? So I'm just glad to be here, bro.
I appreciate it. But first off, the last time I actually saw you, I don't know if you remember, it was actually in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
It was in Connecticut. Actually, you may not know this. That's actually my home. I was actually born in Connecticut.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, I was born in Connecticut. I just happened to be there. They said, you know, 112's here. Call 112. I said, nope. I'm gonna call H-Town. Because he said, 112 not gonna let you in. I said, they will if I call them. Let me surprise them.
Right. Now you got out, bro. You got us. You know, we was on the tour, and then we saw. Yeah, I saw you there. So yeah, that was crazy. Man. You know, awesome tour, bro. But yeah, it was good seeing you there, bro. I did not know you from Connecticut.
Yep. Let's talk about the successful 112 tour. First off, I want to say congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was
headline tour.
This is our first headliner. This is our first headliner tour. And it's crazy, you know, when we say that, people are like, you know, it's crazy, but we've always been like supporting acts for other artists and stuff. Because honestly, we just felt like it was going to come when you know, I'm a big believer in things happening for a reason, and there was a reason why, you know, we didn't headline any tours up until my 30th, because what better way to do your headliner tour than by celebrating 30 years of being in the business too, man. So you know, that was pretty dope.
Perfect lineup. Shout out to the girls from Total. I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. And I want to say this. I really like, and I'm not saying this because you're here, because I talk to you sometimes, a couple of events behind the scenes. I know you can sing. I know you're the church boy of the group, but I'm really glad that people can actually see your vocal ability. You know what I mean? I'm glad people can see you. You can shine. You ain't just background. No, you can sing lead. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, the whole purpose when I put 112 together was to have something that nobody else had at that time, which was 4 lead singers. So that was the premise. Now it didn't work out that way, and it is what it is, and I thank God for it working out, even working out the way that it did. However, the genesis of 112 was 4 lead singers. So I've always been able to, sing. I've always, had the lead singing ability, but I also understood what was the assignment. Was it me to just get my shine over, or for us to be one of the greatest R&B groups that has ever existed? You know what I mean? And if that meant for me to play a background role in order for that to happen, because at some point, it took 30 years, but at some point I'm gonna get some shine over and people are gonna start recognizing, that it's not just Slim that sings, listen, man, I'm 5'8" and a little overweight, bro. Like, I ain't got no discernible traits that make you say, "Ooh, I really want to see him." So why was I in the group, man? Like, I had to be in the group for a reason, bro. Like, it's not, I wasn't just here to be a pretty face, man. Like, I actually, contributed. I actually was the guy that, and I'm speaking from people telling me this. This is not something that I put out there in the universe or whatever. But I've always been that dude that held the group together. I was always the glue. I was always the guy that, that everybody came to, when there was an issue. And to this day, still, I'm always the one that's behind the scenes. Like, no, we need to do it like this, and have you considered this, and we need to do that. And that was my role, and that was the role that God wanted me to play because He knew I could do it well. And yeah, that's pretty much where we are, man. Like, I knew, like, people that know 112 know that I can really sing. If you're a fan, and that's all that really matters to me. If you're just a fly by night fan or a fair weather fan or whatever, whether you get it or not, man, it is what it is. I appreciate you, man, for loving the music, but I'd rather focus on the true blue 112 fans who know what they, and if you know that I'm a singer. You know what I mean? And it's crazy to this day that I still hear it. Like, bro, like, people come up to me, man, I didn't know you could sing like that. If I had $1 for every time I heard that, bro, I wouldn't even be singing no more. I'd be done.
Absolutely.
I'm lying, man. I still be singing.
I like that. And shout out Raleigh boy, but I want to say this. I like that you and Prince, Slim reached out to me. He you're on here, like, why you didn't call me? He he's somewhere. He didn't think something he told me. I forgot what he told me. He said he's somewhere.
Yeah, he's vacationing. He's in them islands, man. So he's relaxing in the islands, or whatever. So
yeah. But here's what I want to say to you. I like the dynamics of you two. That, and I'm gonna be honest, there's a brotherhood. There's definitely a connection. It's not easy being in a 2-man group. Me and Raleigh boy. Yeah, it says the Marty A. Johnson Show. That's great. Look, I like that. Woo woo woo. But at the same time, I know what works for the brand. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, you don't care if Slim singing, you there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And bro, I mean that in the nicest way, but you get what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Slim is the lead singer, but no, you in the group. You put the group together. You knew what you was doing. Some people I'm just gonna say it, in the past, some people mad because they're not the face of something. I'm like, be glad you here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Be glad you here.
My philosophy in that is like, Slim, my voice is very distinctive, but Slim has one of the most distinctive voices that you've ever heard. Like, you immediately, once you hear his voice, you're like, yo, ain't that dude from 112? So that was the whole premise of it. It was never a point where, or never thought that I couldn't sing on the level of a Slim or or the other former members or whatever. It wasn't that I couldn't sing on. It was like, what was going to sell these records? What was going to differentiate you guys from everybody else? Because if you remember, that's when the Drew Hills, the As Yets, the Knicks, the La Days, the Men of Vision, it was a slew of art, like male artists coming out all at the same time. And we needed
I'm listening to Mike. I'm just getting a new record together, but go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And we needed something that was going to separate us from everybody else outside of being signed to Bad Boy. You know what I mean? So that was the whole premise behind that, man. And I don't have a one iota of a doubt that we went in the right direction, with that, and Slim being de facto the lead singer. Because here's the thing about it, man. When you get an opportunity to shine, you shine. So I don't need to sing 8 or 9 songs to get my point across. I can sing 2 of them and my point will be made, like my point will be across. Like I want people leaving saying like 112 did an amazing job, but that motherfucker right there, that boy know he can sing, and that's my objective. If people leave thinking that, then I've accomplished my goal, man.
And it's not even, and look, and bro, you're a particular age, you're older than me, but at the same time, you still keep up with the young boys. You know what I mean? You keep up.
Man, I can still wiggle, man. I can still wiggle. Look, first and foremost, man, a big shout out to New Edition. Because those were the guys that inspired it. Well, I'll go back, man, because I know I've said this at nauseam before, man. But even on your show, man. But we value, or what we look at, a trifecta. There's a trifecta in the music industry as far as R&B is concerned, and that in this trifecta, in no particular order, is New Edition, Boyz II Men, and Jodeci. Those are the 3 acts that have influenced 112 the greatest, before we came out. And then we're that tier right up under those guys with us. So we, around part 3, we said, man, listen, we're doing good. There is a incline to our career. However, we don't want to plateau. What's that new thing about 112 when part 3 comes out? What are we going to do that's going to be different than everybody else? And at that time, everybody was trying to be too cool. Everybody was just way too cool, man. We had to get back to that dancing. We had to get back to that entertainment aspect of it. Yep. And so we were like, bro, what separated those groups that we always look at, the Jodeci's, the Boyz II Men, and New Edition, when we zero in on New Edition? Hey, man, them boys to this day, and big shout out to the tour, that just happened. I don't know if it's still going on with, but the tour that they're on right now, man, like, so it's Boyz II Men. As a matter of fun fact for you, we actually were supposed to be on that tour, but our tour and their tour was kind of around the same time, so we had to make a decision. No, Mike Bill, big shout out to Bill. He reached out to me and Slim and was like, "Yo, bro, like, come get this money, man. Come get this Shinola, man. It's gonna be a great experience." And we just couldn't do it. It just timing wise, it just didn't make sense for us to do it. Either we was gonna hold off on our 30th anniversary or never do it. Versus, so we just had to make a decision, and we decided to go, and do our own thing with it. It was an opportunity for us to have our own tour. You can't really pass that up, man. But yeah, that's what happened, bro.
You're doing good. If you're late, we got Mike here from 112. Here's what I'm gonna say. Where did the name Prince come from? I hear people say they call me Marty Prince coming on. So tell me where the name Prince came from.
Prince came from Prince is my actual nickname. Like a lot of people. Here's the thing. Let's go all the way back. I hate ain't even a strong enough word. I loathe being called Mike. For some reason, even since I was a little boy, like my nickname, as far as I'm concerned, it's never been Mike. What's the word I'm looking for? I respond to Mike, but that's only because I know, like, from the albums or whatever, everybody, Q Mike's in the run. You can't say Michael. Q Mike's in the run. Like, it just didn't flow the way that Q Mike's in the run did. You know what I mean? So that was, the reason why I didn't really make any fuss about that or whatever, man. And your nickname is what your nickname is. But I've been Prince, man, for like, for damn near 30 years. And it came from, I used to wear these towels on my head, and I used to tie the knot in the back, and so it looked like the black folk around my hood growing up or whatever, they didn't know that when you had that look, it's more of a shake than a Prince, but they didn't know that, so they just called me Prince, whatever. So it kind of stuck from there. Then it just evolved into Prince or Princey or something like that, man. But that's where the nickname came from. Me wearing these towels on my head and putting a knot, and it looked like I was one of them Arabian sheikhs. And so that was where it all came from. So, but yeah, it's really Prince, man, because I like I said, man, I can't stress it enough. I hate being called Mike. But so that lets me know, if you call me Mike, that means that you really don't know me like that. Because if you know that, then you know that I don't like being called Mike, man. But it is what it is. Hey, man, just call me. You can call me whatever. Just call me.
No, when I was talking to G, when I was at the pop-up shop, guess what I was calling you? Why Prince ain't at the show? I was saying Prince the whole time. I said, what'd I do to him? He's like, he said, Marty, be quiet. I said, much as Slim been on here, Prince don't come on here now one time. What's going on?
Man, the only reason why, man, is because at that pop-up shop, like, okay, without divulging where I live or whatever, man, I live like an hour from the city. So it takes me a lot to even go on that side of town anymore, man. Like I got to be doing something, like really doing something for a few hours in order for me to, make it to the city or stuff. Because like I said, I live so far away from, the actual city or whatever. But I enjoy it out here. It's country as all get out, but I enjoy it. But yeah, man, like that's the reason why I don't really pop up at the pop-up shop or anything like that, man. Because I'm normally, in the country.
Side note, I'm a little teed off with you, but let me tell you why. When I was, I'm gonna spill the beans on this. When I was at the pop-up shop, I'm sure you probably seen the pictures with me with G and all that stuff. Let me tell you what happened. I got my hoodie, I got my shirt. Riley Boy got his stuff, and then I said, G, hold on, what size are those white sneakers? He said, Mario. I said, I don't care about the price. I want them. And he said, I put them on. I said, there are 9. I said, here I go. I said, go in the back and find me an 8.5 or something. And then guess what I did? I'm putting on, I took off one of my socks. I took on another pair of socks, see if it can fit.
Yeah, the old 2 pair of socks move. Everybody's familiar with that. Yeah.
I went fit. And then I said, this boy got them. Look at this here. You got them. They're nice. Have you worn them? Yeah, have you worn them? Or they for display?
They in the display, bro. Like, they're in the office right now, as a matter of fact. I couldn't wear, I tried, I had a fit that was gonna be perfect for them, man. But I was like, you know what, bro? These at this point, they're a work of art. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. So they're in the case, they're sitting in the display case right now in the office and forever be treasured like that, man. But I refuse to wear them, man, because they so dope.
Yeah,
they dope.
I wanted them just for. So, G, if you're listening, I know you are. 8.5, please, because I'm coming back to Atlanta next month.
G, get that man an 8.5, bro. Get that man an 8.5.
Let's talk about the girls, Kima and Keisha. Total.
Okay. Yes.
The girls did wonderful.
They did. They did absolutely. Big shout out to them, man. Yes, sir.
Kima, Kima and I got some on the truth. Kima and I are good now. Because years ago, Kima came on by herself. I thought she was like, "Ooh, Marty's a mess on here." and then in Connecticut was the first time I met her in person.
Okay.
So she said, "Oh, you and the guys are cool." I said, "Yeah, me and the guys are cool." So I think, Kima, we're good. So we're good now. So
good.
But what I hear is, you helped them and like rearrange the whole show. Am I correct? Like the vocals and the set list. So rumor has that you help the girls like put together their show with the vocal arrangements and all that.
Yes, sir. So I'm in addition to 112, I vocal produce as well. Like I do vocal production and I also vocal coach as well. I've been a vocal coach for I want to say at least 20 years or 20 and some odd years, whatever. So and one of my students was Kima's daughter, Lil Kima. And what they call her mama, so I'm gonna go ahead and call her mama. Okay. But yeah, so mama, so Kima reached out to me and was like, "Hey, bro, are you still doing vocal coach?" I said, "Not anymore. However, tell me what's going on." She was like, "Well, my daughter wants to get into music." I said, "Well, for her, I will come out of retirement and vocal coach her with." So
hold on, is it Kimori? I can't remember her name.
No, that's Keisha's daughter.
Okay. Come on. Okay.
Yeah, Kima's daughter, Mama Jakima, is the one I'm talking about, right? Okay. So yeah, so I started vocal coaching her, and then you would notice every now and then Total Kima would walk in while we're having a session, and then like I'm teaching, and then she's doing all the vocalization as well. So she the fire started happening again, man. So you could tell like it was starting to fire back up in her or whatever. So she was she said she wanted to, after we spoke and they moved down to Atlanta, we spoke and she was like, "I want to do it again, bro. I want to get back out there again. I want to tour. I want to, it's an amazing feeling." I say, "Listen, you preach to the choir this way. I love singing. I love performing. Love doing it." So we had a conversation. Our management eventually started managing Total, and from there, the whole world just opened up for them. Where they had the band, they had management, they had production, they had studio, they had choreographers, everything that they could possibly need and want to get back out there and be the superstars that they are. That we had it available, readily available for them because we had been on the road for the last 30 years doing it, whatever. So they wanted to revamp their show, and they asked me to come in. Well, management asked me to come in and vocalize. And initially, it was just me, just making sure that all the notes was on key and the whole nine. But I know me. Once I get in something, once I commit to something, man, I get passionate about it. And I just went right into teacher mode. I just went right into vocal production, teacher mode, and was like beating them up vocally, man. I was just in there, do it again, do it again, do it again. And they'll tell you, like, they loved it, but at the same time, like, they couldn't stand me at the time we were doing it. It was like they loved the experience, but they couldn't stand me because I was on them. To do it again, do it again, do it again. So vocal coaching, vocal production, yes. I had to rearrange some things with their show because a lot of the leads were Pam, and because Pam wasn't there with her, we had to flip it. And Keisha sang some of Pam leads, and Kima. I said, don't look at it as it being that's Pam's lead and that's your lead, and that's Total's lead, and whoever's in Total. Y'all say, whoever can see it. I said, Kima, this is a perfect opportunity for you to show the world how well you can really sing. Get out there and sing these parts. Keisha, they already know that you can vocalize. However, I want to evolve that thinking, and have you on a whole different sultry, sexy kind of, mature kind of vibe or whatever. So you got that fire and you got that ice. Where you got the passion and the strong vocals from Kima, and then you got the smooth, laid back, sexy sensual voice vocals from Keisha. So that's what I envisioned for them years ago. And I was just glad that we had an opportunity to bring that into fruition now. And that show is phenomenal, bro. Like it is the true definition of hip hop and R&B, that show, man. And we went out to, make sure that the world knew that. And, by the reaction, everybody loved it.
My fault.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, shout out to the girls. Hopefully, G, because I know you're watching. Hopefully, both the girls will come on here. Prince, put that in atmosphere for me, please.
G, make that happen, bro. Total needs to come on the Marty A. Johnson show, man. Like, come on,
please.
Let's stop playing around, man. Let's get Total up on do an interview real quick.
Look, this season within 30 days, please.
Yeah, come on. Now, yeah, you gotta stay on G, man. That's one thing about G. You gotta stay on him.
He said, Marty, you gotta call me. I'm old. It's okay. Because I could be texting him. He texted me like 4 days later. He's like, peace, Marty. I'm sorry. You gotta call me. I said, I won't.
He ain't lying.
Let's play a game. Let's have some fun. All right, yes, so we got a new game. And don't hang up on me either.
No, Lord. Here we go.
No, it's a good game.
Okay.
The game's called 3, 2, and 1.
Okay.
There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a category.
Okay.
You're going to rank them from your least favorite into your top favorite.
Okay, so least to favorite. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And then some of them going to be a little difficult. However, if you don't like the choices that I'm going to give you, you get one pass. Like, you get one pass. Basically, I'm going to switch it to give you something else.
Wait, I only get one pass through this whole game, or like for each round I get it.
For this game, you only get one pass.
Oh my God,
well, I'm gonna say this first.
Okay.
No one did not do a pass yet. They were pissed off at me, but they played the game. They were like, I can't answer it. All right, so you ready? All right,
okay,
so
let's do it.
We got friends of the game.
Okay, yes.
Your least favorite, then your number one favorite. All right, let's start with 112. 112 has a lot of hits.
Okay.
A lot of classics.
Yes.
So if you have to rank them from your least to your number one. Peaches and Cream. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me give it a 3. Peaches and Cream. And
okay.
I'm going to say them in no numeric order, okay?
Okay.
Peaches and Cream. It's Over Now.
Okay.
You already know.
Okay.
Who's number 3 on your list?
My least favorite out of that is It's Over Now.
I knew you were gonna say that. Go ahead. Why? I want to know why.
Because I'm not singing on
it. You are now.
I am now, but you know, when it was time, when that Shinola, when I had the fur coat on and all that other stuff, I needed some of that Shinola, bro. You know what I'm saying? I wanted some more of that Shinola. Yeah, man. But that's my that was my read. That's my least favorite sonically. However, visually, that's one of my favorite songs because that was the breakthrough of us doing actual dance steps and stuff. So yeah, that was my least favorite vocally, but that was my that was my favorite as far as the visuals. Then
number two,
you already know. Again, I'm not singing on this song.
Okay.
I'm not singing on this song. And you know what? I might want to switch because I have less activity in You Already Know than I do on It's Over Now. So yeah, I'm gonna switch. You Already Know first, It's Over Now second, and then of course Peaches and Cream is my favorite.
Okay, I like that. All right.
Yeah.
Let me go to the legends.
Okay.
To the legends, to the aunties. You know, there's a lot of aunties that paved the way for a lot of them.
Okay.
And some of the aunties are on tour right now.
Well, I'm gonna let you know Whitney Houston better be one of them, and she's my favorite. So we already got the one. You already got my favorite.
Okay, so good. I'm not doing that one. So I'm gonna do it this way. Patti LaBelle.
Mm-hmm.
Shaka Khan.
Okay.
Gladys Knight.
Least favorite. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Gladys. I'm
talking about Gladys Knight, Prince. What's going on?
Yeah, no, I know. There's no real reason behind it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm more familiar with Patti and Shaka's, music. Even though I do appreciate Midnight Train to Georgia, I do appreciate, her having her roots in Georgia and whatnot. However, we are playing the game, and I am trying to be as unbiased as I possibly can. I'm basing it solely off of my ignorance for her body of work. I only know but so many songs from her, and that was a couple of generations before me. Whereas when Patti was still active in in the 80s when I was still a little boy growing up, and of course Shaka Khan with Rufus and her doing her own thing or whatever. So so that is the reason why. It's not that I don't I don't love her nor do I don't appreciate her. It's just my ignorance as far as her body of work versus everybody else. So Gladys would be and I hate saying my least favorite because I love them all, but yeah, that'll be my number one.
Understood.
Now let me tell you something, man. If I get some backlash because of this, I'm gonna point out the fact that this was your motherfucking show. Okay, so just
blame me.
Yeah, I will let everybody know. I'm just being honest, and you don't give my honest opinion. But no, go ahead, bro. So my Gladys would be my number one.
Okay. We had some legendary groups. I feel like some groups did not get their. I'm not gonna do the lead singers. I'm gonna do the groups. I feel some groups did not get their fair dues because most of the groups I'm going to name, they lost their lead singer.
Okay.
Some of them, unfortunately, did not recuperate from that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna throw 3 legendary groups out.
Okay.
So if you had to rank them, 3 being the least, number 1 being your fave. And all 3 are friends of the show too, so I can call it out.
Okay.
High Five.
Okay.
H-Town.
Okay.
And Intro.
Okay.
Go ahead, Prince.
I don't know. Let me see.
And rest in peace to
I didn't know the lead singer from Intro. I didn't know him. Kenny. That's his name. I never met Kenny. I never had the pleasure of meeting Kenny. Although I will say that we sang "If You Let Me." We sang that song, and that was the record that our manager at the time, Courtney. Big shout out to Courtney. That's the song that we sang when we first met him, and that started the genesis of us meeting, Kevin and all of those guys or whatever. So that song does have a special place in my heart. However, with that being said, I would have to go Intro first, not because of who they are now, because I know Intro now. And big shout out to Teo is singing with them now, and he sounds amazing with them, and I'm a fan of theirs. However, I didn't know Kenny like that. So yeah, so that would be my least. That would be the number one. Number two, I have to go.
Oh, I'm ready.
I'm gonna go H-Town.
Number two, even though they're touring, with just two
They
members.
touring. I would go H-Town, and the reason why, for that same reason, I know them a little bit more than I know Intro. I never met Dino either. You know that, but I was just a super. His body of work was a little bit more than what Kenny, had. You know what I mean, or Kenny has. So I would say if you had to you put a gun to my head, I would say Intro, H-Town, and then High Five. I'm being biased only because I knew Tony before he passed. He was signed to Bad Boy, and Puff wanted us to really work with him, and we actually did some work with him, and we actually bonded, and and he became like a brother to us or whatever. So I'm being biased at that point, man. So I would definitely have to say High Five would be like my top, my top as far as that goes. Because I knew Tom.
I like the good explanation. I got one more. All right.
Okay.
Ooh.
This must be the gangster one right here.
Yep.
Okay.
Because I know you all about singers.
Yes.
Singers.
Yes.
All these girls can hold their own.
Okay. Here we go. I already know what it is. I can feel it. Okay.
Okay. Look, Tasia, aka Fantasia.
Okay.
And we're gonna throw in the EGOT. Jennifer Hudson.
Okay.
Take your time now, because don't rush this.
Jennifer Hudson, Fantasia, Jasmine Sullivan.
Jennifer, we love you, but you third on my list.
Yeah, Jennifer, she has a phenomenal voice, but the other two, in my opinion, they vocally can do I've heard from what I've heard, they can do a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like she has a big, beautiful voice. You know, but I come from that era of Faith Evans, Kelly Price. Like I come from that era. So you got to be multifaceted with vocally, whatever. And I'm not saying that she can't be. I just haven't heard that from her. I've heard the anthem songs that she sings with, so the big anthems, the big vocals and stuff like that. But I haven't really heard anything other than just the anthems, whatever. And like I like hearing diverse. You listen to it. You talking to a dude, man, that grew up listening to Nirvana, and Stone Temple Pilot and Alice in Chains and sang opera, in high school or whatever. So I like a diversified, music set. You know what I mean? So when you come across as, just having this one thing about you, like, it's dope and everything. But if you just had this one thing about you, you kind of lose it for me. You know what I mean? As far as like, if I have to rank. So I would say Jennifer Hudson, Fantasia. Fantasia at first, and it's crazy because initially a lot of people were saying that about Fantasia. Well, all she do is holler. All she do is holler. All she do is holler. So her music started evolving to where she wasn't just doing she wasn't doing all of that. And then you start seeing, and then you started seeing the evolution of her vocally. And so that's what I can appreciate. And Jasmine has just been like one of the most consistent, amazing vocals that I've heard since Kim Burrell. You know what I mean? Like she's right there with her. You know what I mean? She's right up there with her. Like as far as effortlessly just doing runs like it's nothing, like how we're talking right now. It's like she can, I have to, it's not like I can do them, but I have to think about it. Whereas with Jasmine, it feels like she just flows with it.
Yeah, sometimes you just know. What is your joints to perform live? What's your favorite joints to perform? What's your favorites?
Favorite song to perform. It's crazy because you already know was on my list as being my least favorite. But however, performing wise, and it's only because I get to grind on the dancers and stuff, man. Like I like doing that. So I like showing everybody, my grinding skills or whatever. No, let me see. Of course I love singing player. You know, but here's the thing. Player is one of the most difficult songs for me to sing because I either gotta have it or I don't. You know, so I'm either off or on, man. And I'm one of them singers that it's obvious. When I'm off, it is obvious as all get out. So thank God it's not, you know, often that I'm off, but when I am off, I'm completely off. My voice is it's either on or it's off. And singing player, you know, if you're not, that's why I tell people, I said, man, don't make me laugh. You know, I have this ritual where like I don't really talk on the phone the day of a show anyway, but definitely 2 hours before a performance, everything shuts off. I'm not talking, you know, I'm texting, you know, I'm in my room warming the vocals up. I got this jacket over my head with a hair dryer so I can warm. Like it's just crazy. I'm trying to create this little environment within the jacket and whatnot, or a blanket or something over my head or whatever, just to warm the vocals up. And so yeah, man, I go through this whole ritual just to be able to sing, you know, on the level that I'm able to do, you know, when we perform or whatever, man. So it's this 2 hour ritual that I have. And everybody that knows me knows, like, do not talk to that man 2 hours prior to the show. He will not answer you. He will not talk to you. You know, I'm going to text you and it comes across like I'm on some weird shit, man. But it's actually, if you know, and being around us, whatever, you know, that, you know, we all have our little things, our little rituals, whatever. That's one of my rituals, man.
There's a lot of joints. Do you wish there was some records that was actually released as singles? Like the first album, top to bottom, you can play the whole thing.
Right.
Are there any singles from any of your records that there's some joints I wish y'all can perform live, but you only have so much time.
Right. Yeah. And that's the crazy thing, man, because, you know, for us, we leave meat on the bone, bro. You know what I mean? Like we definitely have songs that people, and a part of that tour, we had a special section that for some of those songs, even with the section that we had, we still was omitting a lot of the songs that people love. But Now That We're Done is one of those songs that I really wish would have been a single. I think the visuals on that, and big shout out to Wanye from Boys to Men for writing that joint for us. It would have, I believe that would have visually catapulted us into a whole nother direction where, you know, it would have been no doubt in anybody's mind, okay, that's that next group right there, bro. And I feel like we accomplished that, but I feel like we took the long way around. I wouldn't have, you know, I love Come See Me, but I wouldn't have released Come See Me. I would have released Now That We're Done as either if I had a choice between Now That We're Done and Cupid. I mean, Now That We're Done and Come See Me. I would have chose Now That We're Done versus Come See Me.
Okay. How come you don't manage artists, stuff like that? Or you don't want to do that?
How come I don't manage?
Well, just take you underneath your wing and all that stuff.
I've tried to do the mentoring thing, but what I found is most of these young artists today, and I don't want to make a blanket statement, but these are the artists that I work with. The artists that I work with don't have the same level of drive and sacrifice that I'm looking for in order for me to quote unquote manage them or, you know, take them to a whole nother level. I need commitment and I need sacrifice. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many funerals I've missed or how many birthdays I've missed or, you know, sick, you know, and still have to be on stage. Like nowadays, it's always an excuse, man. And you know, I'm pushing back on these younger artists just so even if you get mad at me, I don't give a damn. But get mad enough that it makes you want to go out there and prove me wrong. You know what I mean? But like what I'm getting from these artists nowadays is, you know, you're not in the studio all hours of the night. Now, I get it. Technology is what it is. And you don't necessarily have to be in the studio for 8 or 9 hours or whatever. But that's where the bonding, that's where the creative process, that's where the getting to know your album, that's where all of that came from. Out of 12 hours of us being in the studio, maybe 5 of those hours was spent actually recording when we used to do it back in the day. The rest of that time was spent trying to put this album together, coming up with ideas for the next song and understanding, okay, his voice he doesn't like singing it like that. So let me evolve and do it this way. So because he sounds better coming this way. It's a whole ritual, man, that comes with, you know, being in the studio and being committed. You got to sacrifice. Nick, I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't go out. You know, we didn't do a whole lot of that stuff, man. Like our mind frame was be the best R&B group that ever existed.
Absolutely.
That was the mind frame. And whatever that means, in order to get there, work-wise, we got to do it. So let me give you an example, bro. Like real quick.
Go ahead. It's your time. Go ahead.
Part 3, this was our regiment. We would wake up 7 a.m. I would drive to the gym. I would get there about 9 o'clock. From 9 till about 12, I was in the gym. From 12, you ate on the way to rehearsal. From rehearsal, from 12 o'clock until 8 p.m., you were in rehearsal. And now I'm not even talking about when we had studio. You know what I mean? Studio was you wake up, you go to the studio, and then you didn't leave until the song was done. And then you started working on something else. But I'm just talking about our regiment after the album was done and after we finished. Well, we were still recording, but after we had the body of the album together and we knew which songs would have potential to be singles, and It's Over Now was like the one. So we knew It's Over Now for a long time was going to be that first single. So we danced and we did choreography, centered around It's Over Now. And that's where the evolution of, we knew that record was going to be that one that was going to take us to that next level or whatever. We knew Peaches and Cream was going to be, that record, but it was going to be a more fun record. And we were going to, we were going to still dance, but it was going to be more so about the visuals rather than us actually proving a point to the world. And that's where It's Over. It took us 6 months to create that choreography and just to create that energy that we're now dancers in addition to singers. A lot of people don't realize it's difficult as all get out for you to sing and dance at the same time. It's incredibly difficult. It's incredible. Some people can't do it. How we had to learn how to do it, we had to sing while running on treadmills. That's the level of commitment that, so your voice won't sound shaky when you're dancing and whatnot. So, that's one of the things that, one of the little things that we had to do, man. But our whole regiment for like 6 months consisted of waking up, going to the gym, going to the rehearsal, staying there until 8, 9 o'clock at night, rinse and repeat. You did that for 6 months. And we spent $250,000 doing it. So that's the level of commitment. Like there wasn't no time for your girl. Your girl wouldn't, she couldn't come up to the rehearsal. She couldn't come to rehearsal. You were too busy learning the steps to even kick it with her. You know what I'm saying? Your girl wasn't there. Your mama couldn't come. Your grandmama couldn't come. Like, bro, it was just, you were isolated. It was just you and them 3 other dudes and the choreographer. You know what I mean? And that's what, that's the level of commitment that is lacking, nowadays. And I get it. As we evolve, technology gets easier, makes it easier for you to, put an album together. People are putting an album together in a week time versus 6 months for us, right. But I think something is missing in that. The songs are good, songs are dope, but I think that human factor is missing. That sacrifice. Well, people could hear the sacrifice. People knew what it took in order for us to make that first album. Like you could feel it. It's like, man, them boys are hungry. Literally and figuratively hungry. You know what I mean? To get out here and to put this album together, man. There was no plan B. There was no, hey man, if this don't work, it had to work. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no plan B, bro. So that's the level of commitment that I need, from people that, want to work with me. Because I'm gonna push you. I'm gonna call you at 3 a.m. Wake your ass up, man. We would go to the studio real quick. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of mentality that I have, and if you're not with that, then I'm gonna get disenfranchised. I'm gonna lose interest, and then I'm gonna want to walk away.
I'm glad you said it because a lot of people always ask me, Slim and Mike been on here a total of 37 times. Believe it or not, it's true. Call 112. See if you can get them hooked up. I'm like, hell no. Let me put you through the ring. Let me put you through the ringer. I said, because they're gonna cuss me all the way out.
Hey man, soon as we get off this interview.
I'm gonna say, look, nowadays, because I vet the artist out. You know what I mean? Before I call G, before I call you, before I call Slim, I make sure they ready.
Right.
Now, I'm gonna come on because 112's here. I'm like, for what? To waste your time?
Right.
Can't even talk.
Right. You got to bring it, man. Like you got to, and then in addition to that, man, you got to have the ability to sing or whatever it is that you do. You got to be able to garner our attention for at least anywhere from 3 to 7 seconds. That's really what it takes in order for us to know whether or not you got it. It don't take a whole minute. It don't take an hour. It don't take a whole album. It takes about 3 to 7 minutes for us to find out whether or not you got it or you have the potential to have it. It all it takes, man. Like you go, I was born by the river. What's that? 2 seconds?
That's it.
Yeah, and you immediately knew Sam Cooke had a hit on this. had a hit on his hands, bro. You are, come on, man. Like you know when you know. So it's time for us to stop playing and be honest with ourselves, man. Like I will never dunk a basketball, and I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if for me to out here try to dunk a basketball right now at my advanced age, trying to do the 5'8", all 5'8" of me, bro, I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean? And you just have to know what your limitations are in life, and and try to break through them. But if you can't, be good enough with yourself to know the difference.
You telling the truth today, and I appreciate that. I want to know. Then I'm gonna get the new record together. I want to know. Even now, I feel like it's honestly 1996, 1997 for you guys. It seems like y'all more busy, y'all more booked. You and Slim getting y'all definitely getting y'all flowers, and look, and that's really a testament to y'all. And
yes, sir.
So, with that being said, are you feeling the love from the industry?
We are, and sometimes, we get the backhanded compliments. Yeah, y'all doing good, but well, I sure wish, man, that y'all would just get it back together. And like, bro, listen, man, if nobody's more disappointed in the state that 112 was in almost 9 years ago than Slim and I, because we did everything that we possibly could to try to, mend those fences and bring that, and keep the group together. It did not happen, guys. It's not going to happen anytime soon. The dudes decided to go. It's not like they were kicked out. As a matter of fact, I just did, we just did Tigger, the Tigger interview in Atlanta. And of course, and he asked the same question. And I'm going to tell you, just like I told him, it's called the music business for a reason. You know what I mean? And right now, when people are looking at 112 situation, they're thinking of emotion and not looking at it in the business sense of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, you have to separate the emotion from that and realize that
the group,
exactly, it's the brand, man. 112 is the brand. That 112 is the brand that you fell in love with. In a perfect world, yes, you would like to start how you finish how you started, right? But it rarely, if ever, works out like that. You know what I'm saying? So groups come in, members come in, members go out all the time, bro. It's just, I know that we were one of those groups that, you just hated to see like that, but we were no different than anybody else, man. People grew up and grew out. And, those two dudes decided to go in a different direction. Who am I to tell you that you're supposed to stay here when what you're telling us is God and everybody else told you that you should go in another direction? Who am I to tell you to stay? You know what I mean? So that was, so just for, and I know you didn't have that, man, but I just felt compelled to just say it.
Now, you know this. Some people come on, bring you and Slim on. That's all they want to talk about. I'm like, y'all don't even want to build with the guys. I'm talking about everything else. I don't. Right. That's not for me. And I'm just gonna just be frank. I interview a lot of people. There's some people I genuinely have great relationships with, like you guys. And so many other people, it's like it's so genuine. I always appreciate that. And people like you're asked me to come on the show. I said I have Grammy Award winners that come on my show 37 times. I'm gonna keep it.
Come on now, exactly. And so to answer your question more concisely, I do feel the love. This tour proved it. It was only one or two shows that wasn't sold out. And it was close to being sold out, but they wasn't, they was what they was. But it was only like two shows out of the 30 that we did that were, that wasn't sold out, man. So that's proof positive. And people knowing that it was Mike and Slim, it was Slim and Mike, or however you want to say it. But yeah, you get every now and then, and it drives me up a wall, man, because the human part of me it sees it, and we will get love on a post, right? We'll post something on our 112 page, the official 112 page, and we'll post something.
Slim and Mike, it says right there too.
Yeah, it's right there, bro. And Slim and Mike, boom. You know what it is? It's been 9 years. It's been 9 years, guys. So you would get 1,000 comments. Out of 1,000, you might get like 3 or 4 negative comments. And it's those 3 or 4 negative comments that just drive us up a wall. Can't say nothing because we're supposed to rise above that and all that stuff, man, because the expectations of if you're a celebrity or you're famous or you're, you know, in the business or, you know, you mass this amount of whatever acclaim and money and all this other stuff that you're supposed to rise above all of that. And that's bullshit because at the end of the day, we're still human. And find me a situation outside of the music business or athletics or anything like that, an actor, things of that nature, where you can find a negative thing about you daily. And I ain't just talking about something somebody found, you know, a week ago and then 6 months. Daily, I can go online and find something somebody said negatively about what it is that I do and how I do it.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a mind game, man, that you have to constantly play with with yourself, you know, all the time, man. It's like I see why people crash out. I understand why some people, you know, lose it, well, but we have to just compose ourselves. And I tell Slim this all the time. Slim had to calm me down because, like, you know, I'm one of the ones, bro. Like, you know, I'm one of the ones. I ain't the baddest man on the planet, bro, but you know you're gonna be you've been in one if you if me and you was in the bad energy, bro. But I will say this, man. Like we have learned over the years that you can do everything that the world wants you to do.
Absolutely.
And they will still find something negative to say about that. So with that being said, you just do you. And screw everybody else, man. And I hate to say it so, you know, so stern, so, you know, brazen like that, man. But that's exactly what it is, man. Do what makes you happy, you and your people, what sustains you, what gives your people happiness, you know, your family, your kids, and things of that nature. And screw everybody else, bro. If they don't like what you're doing, man, then listen, guys, for the last time, if you don't like what 112 is doing, don't come to the show. Don't buy the albums. Don't do it. That's fine, man. Because we got a million other people that will. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's, you know, and I hate to take, hey bro, you know, you down like 4 flat tires. But you know, and I hate to take such a negative, you know, tone about this stuff, man. But it gets frustrating, bro. Like I said, I'm human. But with that being said, the negative energy doesn't come anywhere close to the positive energy that we get and we receive as Mike and Slim of 112. So, you know, for that, we are extremely grateful and appreciative of it. But, you know, that had to be said as well, man, because it's very frustrating and we are human. So there we go.
You're fine. I think it says in the work ethic that you do, it shows in the tours, it shows in the performance. And it ain't even about me. I'll just say this, and I'm gonna get off that. Over the years, you see, I evolve with this platform. I evolve.
Yes.
And I just said, I've seen some changes throughout the years. I said, let me go back when I know it works for me.
Right.
If you ain't with it for the right reasons, it's not going to flourish.
Exactly.
And then I went back. He ain't here today, but shout out Raleigh Boy. Raleigh Boy and I, as soon as we revamped the way we want to revamp it, it's like we everywhere now.
Look at, man, it doesn't, and I'll use it in musical terms. It doesn't take a lot to figure out what a hit song was, man. Right. Like when we heard the track for Peaches and Cream, bro, we automatically knew that was a hit. And when we're all clicking on the same, you know, clicking on our cylinders and doing, and we're on that same trajectory, whatever, man. Like the song came like this, bro. Once we figured out what we were gonna sing about, the song was done in a day. And you know when you have a hit on your hand, bro, because everything flows. It's when you try to maneuver, let me put this here, and if I do this and I do that, then it should be successful. No, bro, if it's a hit, and I'm using musical terms, if it's a hit, everybody knows it's a hit. I don't have to explain a hit to you. Either you're gonna like it or you're not. Either you're gonna say it's a hit or you're not. So what works for you guys, you and Raleigh, like what works for y'all, you don't have to explain it. It just worked. It just fit right into place, bro. And that's, you know, and that's 112, bro.
Perfect. I'm getting the new record together. Tell me about the lounge. Talk about that.
So I am part owner of Boogaloo Lounge. Now the lounge has been in Atlanta for about 15 years. It's a staple in Atlanta. When anybody comes to Atlanta, the first thing they go, hey man, we got to go to Lennox and we got to go to Boogaloo. That's always been a staple there. So an opportunity last year came up where, you know, they were looking for investors. And rather than me saying I want to be an investor, I was like, I want to be an owner. I want to be an owner of a lounge. I want to have my own lounge. I want to be able to say that I have my own lounge. So 239 Ponce de Leon. That's where Boogaloo is, man. It's great food. You know where you know it's Boogaloo when you see the swings. Everybody who's ever been to Boogaloo knows that it's notorious for having the swings, you know, that you sit down and some of the best lamb chops, some of the best steak egg rolls, some of the best hookah. Great environment. It's definitely safe. It's sexy. You know, it's a really dope vibe down there, man. And I'm there every Thursdays, you know, because we do karaoke night. Me and DJ A1, we do karaoke night. So if you want to come down, you want to sing, you know, I'll be there. And we're just one day at a time, man. But Boogaloo Lounge is an awesome experience. I'm learning so much. Big shout out to John, Casey, and Big Dre, you know, the other, you know, owners. And yeah, man, it's just one of the many things that I, you know, have my hands on or whatever, man. So, you know, but I love being at Boogaloo. I love, you know, the vibe that is given. And and it's one of the few lounges that are still rocking and rolling in Atlanta, because a lot of the lounges are closing. You know, I don't know what that phenomenon is, man, but thank God that Boogaloo is still open.
Good. That's good. I want to know this if I get the new record together, not telling all your business. You're very, you don't mind saying this, you're very, very active. Look, you're an active dad. You got your baby girl, you got your son that's in that served and all that. You got 112, you got the Boogaloo Lounge, you got some other stuff going on. How do you make time for you?
I don't. Short answer, man, is I don't, man. And I find peace and serenity in knowing that my people, my kids, and the people that, you know, we employ about 20 people, and I find peace in knowing that those 20 people are able to provide for their families and stuff, man. That's why I find solace. But honestly, man, there's no set pattern for me, man. Like there's nothing that I can really truly say, like, oh, okay, now I have a pool table. You know, I'm an avid pool player. In here, like, let me show you. So this is my, you know, where I play my PS5. This is the screen that I play on, whatever. So
you got the 112.
Yeah, you got the 112 on the wall. Big shout out to Michelle. She did all of this stuff too. The Biggie.
That's nice.
The Biggie mural she did. She's awesome with it. The room 112 I had to put over there. But yeah, so this is, I find serenity here, man, like in my house, and you know, but making time for me, there's no set pattern. Whenever I can find it, you know, that's when I do it. But I'm so inundated with other things going on, man, and trying to make sure that my people are eating and everybody's happy and they're well and we're prosperous, man. It's like I'll relax when I'm dead, bro. You know, right now it's too much money out here to be made for us to be, you know, sitting on our asses, man. So I wish I had a better answer for you, man, but I just don't. I don't find time for me, man. I can't, you know, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is.
Well, you had time to do a single with Jazzy Faye. And what's the guy's name? Is it Devon?
Javon Dewan.
Thank you.
It's his song. So we understand. It's his song. And and I don't want to put it in comparison to a Kirk Franklin kind of, but that's the vibe that a lot of people are saying that his vibe is giving you. If you go pick up his album, it's called 10X Me, and it's 10 times.
Where's the music video at? Why there's no music video? I was looking for it.
It was supposed to be out. That's a great question, and I will get on the horn and ask Javon what's up with that, because it's supposed to be out by now, man. Because we actually shot a video.
I know. I was pissed.
We shot a video. We shot a video for everything, man. For every song, he had a song with Isaac Correa and Blanco Brown. It's amazing, and he's rocking and rolling. So yeah, he called me. I was actually at Ingles, and down the street, and he called me and was like, "Bro, I need you on this song." I said, "All right, bet." When we gonna do it? Thinking that he talked about maybe a couple of days from now. He's like, "Right now." so I stopped everything, man. I got home and, you know, put the groceries up, man, and I took off and I went back into the city. And we recorded that song. The song is called "It Came Out of Nowhere." And it literally came out of nowhere, bro. Like that, like I'm sitting one minute, I'm at the grocery store buying some groceries for me and the kids, and then the next moment, you know, I'm sitting on one of the greatest gospel records that I've ever been a part of, and the response has been amazing. Again, people are like, bro, I did not know you could sing like that, and all this other, and that's fine. I like that as opposed to 30 years of people just, oh, okay, well, that's just Mike from 112. I love the fact that people are like, bro, I did not know that was you, and because it's just another conversation piece that people are having and whatnot, man. But yeah, so he asked me to get on the record and say, Jazzy gonna get on this record, and he came up with the beat and Gas Money, vocal produced it, and I think he wrote it as well along with Jazzy, man. And it's just an amazing record. I'm grateful that one, I was thought of, two, that we were able to deliver the hit that it is, and just that whole experience, bro. I haven't been around no gospel music in a long time, and it just felt good, man, to just be back in an environment that's familiar to me. I.e. growing up in the church and just listening to those different music and hearing all this singing, man, like real singing, real God. Nothing excites me more vocally than a gospel singer. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, just being amongst all of that, man, it just gave me renewed life, man. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to be on that record. It came out of nowhere. It's on Javon DeWan's album, 10X Me. It's the blessing times 10. So whatever the blessing is, do it 10 times, God. So that's where the 10X.
Hold on, Mike, let me see if I can play it. You can't hear it. Hold on, but you can't hear it though. The people can hear it, but you can't hear it.
I can't hear it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Javon DeWan.
No, I can't hear it.
You are now tuned in. Trap Stars. It's a big old blessing.
Let's play a little bit of it. So look, pick it up, Mike. Before I let you go,
yes,
first, Mike, before I let you go, I'm happy to do a drop, but I'm gonna ask this: do you have the bug to do a solo project? Then I'm talk about anything new from 112 coming out that I need to be at.
Do I have the bug? Yeah, I'm always had a bug to do new music. If that comes in the form of another EP from Slim and myself, then sure. If it comes in the form of me doing a solo project, that's even better. Me, Al Jamal, and Black Elvis actually were in talks of me doing a solo project. The vibe was there. So it's there. It's in the ether. It's in the atmosphere. So I may do it. It has to be a right situation. What I don't want to do is just do a bunch of music that sounds great and only 5 people get it. So it's more so the infrastructure for me. It's the it being able to get out to radio and people hearing the music as opposed to just me doing an incredible album and only 5 or 6 people have it, man. So that's my only that would be my only reservation with doing a solo project, because here we are putting out this body of work, spending money, and because it's not what you're familiar with, you don't want it. You know what I mean? So it's crazy, bro. But I'm always in the mind frame of doing new music, man. I always want to do new music.
Look, artists, I tell y'all all the time, please just lock in with me, because I would love to call Mike and Slim and G and the management and say, look, I got somebody. Let me get my finder's fee.
Exactly. I really want to hear it one day, man. I want to be here when you's like, hey, bro, I got him. I got the artist for y'all, man. And because it's all about finding out what's that next sign. Well, who's that next person, man? Like, I'm looking forward to it, because eventually 112 is going to hang it up, and, we're going to be old and can't get on the stage and dance or do nothing. So somebody has to take this torch and roll with it, man. So I'm looking forward to find out who's that next. I want a group. I want a male group. I want a male group. I want to bring back the whole group dynamic again, man. Like, I want us to, see if we can bring that back around. I know music is cyclical and it'll come back around at some point. But I do want to, while I'm still in it, I want to see it. I want to see it happen again, because it's such an amazing thing to see a group dynamic. All of these different individual personalities and the different vocal abilities and stuff, man. It's like a Voltron almost. Like it's the red Voltron, the green Voltron, the black one, the blue, the yellow. You come together, man, and you come and create something even better, man. So that's the mentality that I have, man. I would love to see a male R&B group. I would love to see a female R&B group as well. But that male group is near and dear to my heart, man. So that's what I would like to see.
Well, that's perfect setup. I want you to go. We're going to do a drop. You're going to do 3, 2, 1. You're going to count yourself down and say what you exactly want to say. And it's the truth, people. I do know Mike, Slim, and the management. What up, Abraham? I know he around here somewhere. I know G's watching. But anyhow, remember the email. It's martyajohnson4@gmail.com. You can say whatever you want with it. And make sure you include you and the email address. Remember, martyajohnson4@gmail.com.
Marty A. Johnson number 4 at gmail.com. I got you.
You're gonna do 2. That's the first one. You're gonna count yourself down. 3, 2, 1, then you go.
Okay, cool. What up, y'all? This is Mike from the infamous group 112, and I want to let y'all know that 112 is alive, 30 years in this business, alive and strong, just doing our thing, man. I'm here with Marty A. Johnson. Check him out, Marty A. Johnson number 4 at gmail.com. And it's an amazing feeling right now, man. I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad to be alive. You know, and
Tell them to send the music to me. Tell them to send to me so I can call y'all. So I can vet them out. They be for real. They be think I'm playing.
Okay. Yeah. Y'all reach out to Marty because he has the back phone. He does have a direct line to 112. He can get, your music, but you got to come with it. And don't be upset when and if you don't hear back from him. Obviously, you still need a little work. And it's okay. I'm still evolving. I'm still evolving. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure, like, nobody knows everything. You know what I mean? So let's just keep learning. Let's just keep growing. And it's okay. Just because you hear a no, all you need is that one yes. All you need is that one. You can hear a million no's. All you need is that one yes. So just do your thing, man. Bring your strongest music, man.
That's it. And honestly, Mike, a lot of people, I knock on wood. Can I tell you something? I never canceled a show. I gotta be on my deathbed for me to cancel a show.
Right?
They don't care if Marty's sick. You coming on Tuesday night? They don't care if you and Slim. I remember Slim was sick as a dog, but he came on here with me. And
they don't care.
They don't care what you got going on at the house. How many times you had to leave your baby girl and say, "Dude, you got something at the school. You want to stay so bad, but you got to catch that flight and do peaches and cream."
Exactly.
But they don't know the sacrifice and the work ethic they put in. I really want to emphasize that. They don't care what's going on at the house. Are you going to be on the show? Are you going to show up? Are you going to be seen? And I mean that in the nicest way.
Right.
Last thing I'm going to have you, I'm going to have you do a drop. Include Raleigh Boy's name with Official Raleigh Boy. Marty A. Johnson, that's me. And with Official Raleigh Boy. And say whatever you want to say. As far as follow you in a 112 page. Again, count yourself down with 3, 2, 1, then you go.
Okay, cool. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Mike from the infamous group 112. Listen, follow us on the official 112 on Instagram. You can follow me at the official Michael Keith 112, and you can follow Slim on official Slim _ on Instagram. I just want to say that I love my brothers, Marty A. Johnson and the original Raleigh Boy. Where you at, bro? Like, listen, man. Whenever I show up, you supposed to be here too. WTF, man. Like, what's going on with that, man? Please reach out to Marty A. Johnson at Marty A. Johnson number 4 at gmail.com. If y'all got some music, y'all got some hotness, we need that hotness. We need you, baby. But you gotta bring the real. You gotta bring your best. Like, do not come with that half-baked music, because you will get the chopping block, the guillotine to your head, man. Like that, like it's I don't even want to talk about it no more, man. Marty A. Johnson, man. Raleigh Boy, y'all know what time it is.
Yes. Mike, you did not disappoint at all today, at all. Anything I'm missing out on? I need to let you know.
That's about it, bro.
Look, my only request, and I'm serious, G, I would love the girls to come on, Kima and Keisha, if y'all don't mind.
Hey, man, let's make that happen, man. Total. I'm gonna put it in the atmosphere. I don't want to speak for them or speak on their behalf, man. But I know them; they would love to do the Marty A. Johnson show, man. Like, it's amazing. It's an amazing vibe, bro. Like, the energy is amazing. You're very fair, and you give us questions that aren't the mundane same old questions, bro. Like, I actually appreciate it. So yeah, man. Like, they would have a ball, man. Bro.
Like, I know you for 6 years. I just come and have a good conversation. That's it.
Exactly, bro. Like, we passed the whole, like, we're asking questions, but we passed the whole interview. Like, bro, it's family at this point, man. So just ask away, bro. Like, I'm an open book at this point, bro.
Perfect. Brother, I appreciate y'all. Whenever you want to come back, do not wait. If you don't mind, you come back anytime.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man. 112 ever. Y'all go get all our music. I don't care. Just go get all of it.
Appreciate it, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So look, Mike did not disappoint at all. So anyone that really want to get locked in with me on the Marty A. Johnson Show, Raleigh Boy will be here next week. So please tap in with me at Marty A. Johnson, number 4 at gmail.com. Side note, please tap in with me. My celebrity friends really want to get y'all connected, but you have to come on the show. Consistency is the key. I appreciate people chiming in, tapping in. I appreciate that. But to get outside with us, it all happens here on Tuesday nights. Remember, if you want to tap in with me, Marty A. Johnson, number 4 at gmail.com. I don't get the emails directly. Sometimes I have a team too. So I look for artists that's serious. I know there's a lot of y'all. So Marty A. Johnson on all social media and official _Raleigh Boy. Shout out to Mary Jane Girls. Will be back next week. So if you're not familiar with them, you better tap in because people from NWA, people from Ice Cube, Mary J. Blige is down with them. And they're actually going on tour and they want us to be a part of it. So tap in with me, Marty A. Johnson Show with Official Raleigh Boy. I'll see y'all next week. Good night.